Fences are everywhere. They protect our businesses, our properties, and critical infrastructure. These fences are constructed to prevent entry and exit. They deter vandals and thieves. But a fence is vulnerable, especially at night. That's why we use cameras and guards. They surveil the perimeter, and to do so, they need light. Today, we are at a northern New Jersey wholesale distributor to witness the installation of the award-winning cast LED perimeter lighting system. One of the reasons this system won the lighting industry's most innovative product of the year was the simplicity of installation. Typical perimeter lighting requires installation of large poles, complicated hardware, and extensive excavation. What you see here are all the components needed to light a 200-foot fence with the cast system. Other systems would require multiple pallets of materials. The cast LED perimeter light is compact, sturdy, and mounts directly to the fence. Installation starts at the 24-volt transformer that powers the lights. It can be attached to the fence itself, a mounting post, or on a nearby building. In this case, we see Dave has drilled 2 mounting holes into an exterior wall and is installing the mounting hardware provided with the transformer. Set the transformer in place and secure the screws. Keep in mind that transformers can be mounted inside or outside, must be mounted vertically, and the bottom plate needs to be at least 12 inches from the floor or ground. The transformer must also be plugged into a GFCI protected receptacle with in-use weatherproof cover. Next, remove bottom and side knockouts. Do this by pushing out with a flat blade screwdriver, then twisting off with pliers. Insert the photocell through the hole and secure in place with a retainer ring. Plug the photocell into the receptacle. The built-in timer acts as a master switch for the transformer. Full instructions are on the inside lid of the transformer. When used with a photocell, the timer is usually set to activate in the late afternoon before it gets dark. Then you can set the timer to turn off the system at any time. With the transformer all set, attach the supplied strain relief to the bottom plate. Then run the home run wire through the strain relief. Separate the 2 legs, then strip 3/4 of an inch of insulation from each leg. The cast automatic wire stripper is a great tool for this job. It's very important that you don't cut any wire strands. Using a flathead screwdriver, loosen the bottom 2 set screws in the terminal taps. Insert the 2 stripped wires in the taps, one in the common tap, the other in the voltage tap. Tighten screws securely. Pull on each wire to make sure they are connected firmly. The next steps are attaching, wiring, and connecting the perimeter lights. Depending on the size of your crew, you can do these steps one at a time, or you can do all 3 at the same time. Let's look at each step in turn. The perimeter light is equipped with 2 screws with nuts and a saddle clamp. When you remove a light from the box, you'll find a packet containing this hardware. Attach the hardware before you bring the light to the fence. You can attach the light at any place near the top of the post so the hat extends about a foot above the top. You will slip the bracket between the fence post and the chain links. Some fences have very heavy links that are tight against the post. Before mounting the light, check to see if the links will interfere with the bracket. If they do, you can use a long screwdriver or vice grips to bend the links away from the post. Start with one side of the bracket already connected to the light. Holding the light in place with one hand, use the other to slide the bracket behind the post. With the bracket in position, insert the second bolt through the bracket and screw it into the fixture. Finger tighten the bracket by spinning the nut on one side, then the other, going back and forth until the bracket is tight and parallel to the fixture. Using a wrench, continue tightening until fixture is secure. While it's not essential, a crew member on the other side of the fence helping you attach each fixture will make the job go faster. The next step is wiring. In most situations, you can run the insulated wire without conduit. It's rated for both burial and outdoor exposure, so you can bury or hang the wire from the transformer and then attach it directly to the fence. This is the method that results in the greatest savings in material and labor cost. For our installation, we see the workers running wire along fence supports and attaching the wire with cable ties about every 2 feet. Notice that they run the wire under fence ties to get a tight fit against the fence supports. At each fixture, a loop is made or cut ends are left to allow an extra 6 inches for wire splices. The next step in the installation is making the fixture connections. First, remove the faceplate. You'll see that the junction box has 3 points of wire ingress, a knockout on the bottom and one on each bottom side. The side openings are each suited for a single wire. These openings are ideal for wires running across the top support. The bottom opening is used for wires running from locations below the fixture, or when you have 3 or more entering wires, or when you use conduit. A strain relief comes with each fixture. Insert this strain relief if you will be running wires into the bottom hole. The side holes compress when the faceplate is attached, so they have their own built-in strain relief. The first step with making the connections is to bring all wires into the junction box. Then, using the cast automatic wire stripper, strip off 1/2 inch of insulation from each wire. Be careful not to cut any wire strands. Starting with one leg of each wire pair, line these up with one of the white wires coming from the LED driver. Insert these wire ends into a supplied crimp connector. Then, using a crimping tool, crimp them together firmly. Pull on each wire to ensure a secure connection. Now push all wires back into the junction box and replace the faceplate. Continue this process for all fixtures. That concludes the attachment, wiring, and connection of all fixtures. Now that the entire lighting system is in place and connected, there's one final step: testing and documentation. If you haven't already set your timer, do so now. Check that your photocell is aimed to the sky and be sure to remove its rubber cap. Every perimeter lighting transformer has a low, off, high switch. The low setting sets the output at 24 volts, while the high setting puts out 26 volts. Refer to the Cast LED Perimeter Lighting Planning and Design Guide to determine whether to use the high or low setting. Now you're ready to turn on the system. Flip up the red magnetic breaker switch to turn on the lights. With the lights on, start taking voltage and amperage measurements. You do this so you have a record of the initial system performance. Having this information may be useful for troubleshooting or adding to the system at a later date. You'll be taking measurements of both the primary or 120 volt side and the secondary or low voltage side and recording the readings on your project record form. This form is found on the last page of the installation manual. Start by measuring voltage at the GFCI outlet. Then at the low voltage taps, the Cast Digital Amp Volt Ohms meter is a good tool for this job. To measure amps on the primary, temporarily remove the photocell plug and replace it with the photocell bypass plug that came with the transformer. Clamp onto this loop with your meter to measure the amps. Next, to measure the secondary amperage, place the amp probe around one of the wires attached to the low voltage tap. Record all the test data and other system information on the project record form. Now replace the photocell plug, attach the cover plate, and enjoy your Cast LED perimeter lighting system. Because of its small size, low cost, ease of installation, and extreme energy efficiency, the Cast LED perimeter lighting system was awarded Most Innovative Product of the Year. Contact us at Cast Lighting to request a free demo. Our sales and technical staff welcome your questions.